But anyway, we have disruption as a general theme. And of course, AU10TIX is also disrupting a market, or is enabling a market.
Enabling.
You started this business how many years ago?
15.
15 years.
Yeah.
Exactly like NOAH conference,
Exactly.
2009.
Exactly. I was one of your first speakers there.
He has more revenues than NOAH, I have to warn you. But yeah, tell us, how big is AU10TIX now? And you are the, I mean, sorry, I say too much because I'm quite passionate, obviously, about AU10TIX. But if you look at your business in the industry, is somebody doing exactly the same on a no-touch AI? Because you're an Israeli business, and I think that's what AU10TIX is special about, right? Sorry.
No, well, it's there are many wannabes, and in the industry, each one of them is trying to tackle it from a different angle. I think definitely I met someone here.
What are your biggest customers? Let's start with that.
Oh, biggest customers. Oh, it's across the board. So we do Uber, we do TikTok, we do PayPal, we do Google, Twitter. It's not Twitter anymore. It's X.
And you help them to identify the user who tries to register for service.
So basically, there are two main use cases. They come to us. One is for compliance, for identity verification, for KYC, and that's
financial institution.
That's financial institution and payments, and also gaming. And the other one is more risk. So for example, if we work with one of the crypto exchanges, so the users on both cases, one on the onboarding phase, which is compliance driven, and from a risk point of view, we need to do the checkout. So the same goes with the gaming or on the payment side. And so it's quite of an interesting angle. So we started as a KYC company. We moved to more of a risk base, and now we build a global platform, which is basically we run identity for our customers. So we have a global consortium where our customers can come on the platform, anonymize, share the data between each other.
Between each other.
Between each other. We don't really know. For us, it's like clear water running via the pipes because we don't really know. I mean, we know it's a signal.
Don't look into the bank account.
We don't look at the bank. For us, it's anonymized, but we know the signals, and we see the fraud trends jumping. For example, we know that there's a user number 1345, and it jumps between Airbnb to Booking, then to PayPal, then to Uber.
That's super interesting. So you have your customers being able to collaborate.
Yes.
Identify fraudsters.
Yes.
Interesting.
On a global level.
And that's a new line of business?
That started already in 2019. It really started catching during COVID when everything became very digital. And because of our global scope, I mean, listen, we have customers from New Zealand and Australia, Philippines, Indonesia, Africa, US, Latam. So the amount of traffic that we see between our customers is quite unique. And therefore, the bigger the consortium is, the more powerful it becomes, the more better you're protected inside the economy. So that is from that point of view.
Can you share some numbers with us in terms of revenues?
So we've been profitable. So we bootstrap the business. So we've been profitable for the last since 2018. That's when we turned profitable, and we grew last year 20, no more. I mean, so we're in the rule of 40, which is we grow nicely and we're nicely profitable. And
20 plus 20%.
20 plus 20. And we're somewhere in a nice place between the 50 to the 100.
Okay, that's very nice.
Yeah.
And you brought in a private equity firm.
In 2019.
TPG or 6th Street? Or?
Yeah, no, TPG, not 6th Street. TPG in Oak.
And is there exactly Oak VC? Is there room to consolidate the market? I mean, that's one of those spaces. I think customer sign-on and verification happens. Yeah, how many a day? You must know the data.
A lot.
Like a billion?
I don't know. Listen, I don't know. I can tell you what we see on a daily basis. But yeah, if you accumulate it, definitely the question is how signing on is like with the MFAs, and it's like trillions, but from a compliance point of view, it's like definitely in the billions. But there's definitely a place. So we're in interesting times because there was this amount of money flowing into the market during 2020 and 2021, and of course things were very inflated. There were a few players that raised money on insane multiples, like 100 times revenue. They're barely those, so valuations were a bit like sky high. And now the market is dried up, and you need to give a path to profitability, and you need to show you can monetize on the revenue. And we just, and well, by the way, one of the reasons I've done it was more of a secondary. I never raised money. Yes. I wanted to create a certain value in order for me to go to do consolidation in the market. But then COVID happened and the whole market went berserk.
So you wanted to do consolidation?
I wanted, but listen, unfortunately, there's a big gap between what you want and what you can do. And so the market went a bit sideways and now when the market is changing, the vendors, the other providers that have raised in crazy valuation, they're not profitable, they need to go to the market. So they have two options. Either they need to do a down round.
He always worries about his competitors. I love that.
I'm always, listen, paranoid, only the paranoid survive.
No, worried in an ironic way. But in terms of AI, I mean, the costs to get this data integrated, aren't they coming down? Isn't there price competition?
Well, I want to say, we've been using, now it's called AI. Before it was called deep learning. Before that, it was called machine learning. So it allows you to move much faster from that point of view. But I can tell you, we're now, I'll give you as an experience, we're now implementing for our support team an engine for AI because, listen, we have customers, some of the customers are, the amount of data that when they call you and there's a technical question and they want to get an answer, there's a huge amount of data and we're trying to teach with this AI the answers. And I'm telling you, it's not that obvious. I mean, there are the models, but to train them, because the AI can accumulate all the knowledge of that customer, that problem, but it can also take you to a side way, and it might get the technical support get the wrong answer, because of course you want to give a quicker answer, and we're in a real-time company. So there's good things about AI, and there's a lot of stuff that AI needs to learn. I mean, to create images, that's nice, but as they say, the devil is in the details. And when you need to start reading massive amounts of text and to come to a conclusion that will be, how will I say, meaningful and the correct answer. Because listen, if you give, you want to give a fast answer, but if you give a fast answer which is stupid, then what have you done?
Does the industry track the fraud happening in sign-on? Could you compare it to the cyber industry, for example? The cyber industry has more and more damage and is growing. So they have a 4 trillion damage and a 1 trillion revenues. So your industry seems to be more protected, right?
I'm not sure it's that protected. I think the banks, not the banks, listen, the financial sector, when it comes to fraud, they don't necessarily want...
Talk about it?
They want to talk about it. So they know it's like,
we talked with Max from N26 very much this morning because the regulator lifted his cap because he had so much fraud.
I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't know. N26 is not my customer. Maybe you should become one. But I think that the fraud is a reputational issue in financial services, and not necessarily they write the fraud in the right places. Maybe loss from bad credit decisioning, maybe from compliance. I mean, if you help them with it's a stick and a carrot, because if you help them prevent fraud, then you want a better price, but they don't want to give you a better price. So it's always this debate when you go to do commercial negotiations in that respect. So it's kind of funny.
But wonderful to have you.
Marco, thank you very much.
Amazing company. And